I played a lot of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced thanks to an early code, and there's way more possible than I thought at first. So here are secret tricks for combat, stealth, parkour, hunting and way more, and thanks to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. Edward has some brand new moves with this new fighting system, but some are never explained. You of course got your light attack combo, and by holding the light attack button you perform a heavy attack that is different depending on one of the 3 weapon types you are using. And it's pretty cool, by the way, how if you sprint and then do a light attack, you'll perform a quick heavy attack instead. But there's also a secret dodge attack. Press the dodge button once and then a light attack for a quick slash. And this is a surprisingly strong and fun tactic against enemies. Sometimes they cannot do anything in response, but if they do block, simply wait for them to strike, dodge that attack, and you can immediately counter with this slash, after which you can often just spam it until they go down. And while doing this, you will often trigger a perfect dodge, increasing the damage of your next attack, making this combo even stronger. And where you don't really notice a higher damage value of a sword with a regular attack or a heavy attack, with this tactic you actually do. Like this, the difference between a 17 damage weapon and a 38 damage weapon. So basically, if you want to play around parries, then focusing on weapons with a higher max takedown is obviously better, while if you want to play around dodges and these dodge attacks, then go for a higher damage value. There are also some settings that are off by default, but that you want to turn on. Having the advanced parkour feature on means that you can do side or baggage jacks from any height, instead of the game putting in safeguards to protect you from falling to your death. But by simply pressing the dodge button before you hit the ground, you negate all fall damage. And if you do this from an eject, so by pushing the analog stick in the opposite direction and then pressing the jump button, then doing the dodge button, you will do this hop first and then also roll. And you can create some really cool scenarios with this from this fast travel point over here in Havana. But yeah, this roll of course also works if you are just jumping, if you would normally die from this height. Now with the roll you negate all fall damage. Another cool feature is the HUD toggle. This lets you remove the HUD without going back into the settings menu, and then you can bring it back whenever you want as well for that extra immersion. But my favorite is area loot. Looting has already been made much better. In the original, maybe you remember this, we had to kneel down for a few seconds to get loot from individual enemies. Well, now you just press one button to immediately get it. But with area loot, you immediately loot multiple nearby corpses, which saves quite some time, but you can make this go even faster. If you upgrade the general store once in your hideout, you can buy the lodestone trinket, and with this you will automatically loot nearby corpses and nearby curios. So then you never have to press the button again. And you will also often just see random money notifications pop up while running around. So it's basically a nice passive income. And this trinket is also very handy for another trick that involves your kick. Like, this ability is way more powerful than you might think. Sure, you can use this to kick enemies off high places, but you want to train yourself to use this ability whenever an enemy is facing a wall or another object, so they immediately break their defense and you can instantly take them down. And this is especially amazing when boarding an enemy ship, as enemies are always close to the edge, so one kick means you can immediately follow up with a takedown. With a takedown, you will then often kick them off the ship so they cannot loot them, but with the trinket, you will still get their loot before they disappear into the sea. Now, if you don't have the trinket yet, then simply using a heavy attack to finish the job, or just position yourself so you can do the takedown without kicking them off the ship. This tactic is also great because enemies on a ship are distracted by your crew, so they can easily be kicked. Otherwise, they will sometimes dodge the attack unless you use the rope dart. Grabbing an enemy with the rope dart, which you now get during the sugarcane and its yields early main mission, exposes that enemy, making them an easy target for any follow-up attack. The best combo is a rope dart followed by a leg sweep, which works against many enemies and can be spammed. But also, if an enemy is preparing to shoot, the rope dart interrupts them and instantly breaks their defense. It also interrupts enemies who are preparing to throw a grenade and causing them to get hurt by their own explosion. The rope dart also has a longer range than you might expect. Just lock onto a ranged target, firing from higher up, and pull them down. But I especially like how you can use the rope dart in stealth. Pulling an unaware target towards you lets you assassinate them, but even better is doing this while in a stalking zone. as you can then pull multiple unaware targets into the tall grass to take them out one by one without others noticing what's going on. You can of course also hang enemies, but this will immediately alert their friends. So in that case, just throw a smoke bomb first and then you can quickly hang all the enemies from the same branch. And we can now also aim with the rope dart and use it to destroy alarm bells from afar without having to use the pistol, which would of course alert more guards. Now your pistols are still great. You can for example use it to instantly kill the final target of a fort without having to kill the other enemies, or you can use it for hunting animals, which much faster than using your blades, although there are certainly better options. Using the blow dart, which you also get relatively early during the main story, you can put an animal to sleep, giving you the option to simply walk towards it and assassinate it for an insta-kill. You can also use the berserk dart on an animal. This will cause it to go crazy for a bit, but if you are far enough away, you can simply wait for the effect to wear off, which will kill the animal. But using a pistol sword is actually also a great option. You can buy your first one after upgrading the general store once, which you also again want to do for the trinket. This lets you fire 2 shots with a heavy attack that doesn't cost any bullets, making it perfect for hunting as well. But before you hunt any animal, you want to get this trinket that you can already obtain super early over here in Havana, as it doubles the loot you get from animals, meaning you have to hunt far less for the crafting upgrades. Of course, using your eagle vision is nice to spot animals and tag them, but it took me way too long to realize that you can use the pathfinder for hunting too. Simply mark an animal on the map and hold up on the D-pad to see a line through the jungle or any other area that will take you to your objective, which also works very well when looking for a particular chest or other things. Holding right on the D-pad lets you change the time of day, but this only works on actual ground surfaces, so not on docks or not while on your ship. And even if the game sometimes says it's not possible if you are on a ground surface or out of combat, it should work, so just try again. With the left analog stick, you can of course pull your hood up and down, and by holding that button you actually draw your swords or put them away. Reloading your gun is of course possible with L2 and triangle or Y on Xbox. And a quick fast travel tip: if you want to sail to a particular location you've not been to, just travel to a nearby location and then immediately pull up your map again to fast travel to your ship, which is now spawned at those docks. This will save you time and was not possible in the original. And we can now actually also use the pathfinder on the sea. Once again, hold the up button on the D-pad and then you can do triangle or Y to let your ship in autopilot go to your destination without bumping into other ships. Totally, if you have any tips, drop them down below, subscribe, leave a like. I got way more Black Flag Resynced content coming your way, and you can already check out another video I did by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.